There are thousands of DOS games. Most of them are terrible. I play one selected at random with a 20-minute time limit and record it live. This is the result. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Random DOS Game Show. And today we have a title called Rally Sport. And this is apparently a game that was made using the shareware model of distribution. I know that because if you select ordering info, it's showing that we're playing the registered version that has a bunch of features that the shareware presumably didn't have. There's the keys, A and Z and comma and period. That's a very strange setup for player one controls. This is going by pretty quickly. It's just showing some advice. I believe the previous one was their website, which is probably no longer around. A caution screen saying they don't claim responsibility for if this damages your computer. Registration information, which is probably also outdated by now. And talking about some of the perks for being a registered user. And here we have the credits. And judging by the names, which I'm not going to try to pronounce as I'm probably going to butcher it, I want to say maybe it was a dev team from one of the Nordic countries, maybe? I'm not sure, though. Order or not, but at least play it. Have a good race. Well, I can get behind that. I can get behind that statement. So without any further ado, let's first check out the drive setup. I assume that's the options menu for this. And what have we got here? And as you can see, a little demo is playing in the background. There is no music or sound so far, at least, but we've got number of laps 5. We can bump it up all the way to 10. That's where it stops. And we can take it all the way down to 0. But 5 is probably a good middle ground. Control speed. So we've got, I guess, the speed in which the game plays, I think. Too slow, quite slow, medium, faster, sick, quick is the fastest. Let's just go with medium, I guess, for now. We'll stick with keyboard despite the kind of odd key controls. Difficulty. What is car? I assume that's the easiest difficulty. Mr. Breaker, standard, no brakes. A Vatonin? It's kind of hard to tell. Unfortunately, that text is overlapping with the menus, but I assume that's the most difficult since I couldn't go any further. Player. This is where I enter in my name? Yes. Oh, so entering the apostrophe actually gives you... yeah, this is definitely made with a Nordic style language keyboard in mind, I think. So we'll just go that. B-Mens LN. Race type. Normal. Practice. You probably just play by yourself, so... yeah, practice with Ghost or 2-player and 2-player split. Oh, interesting. So I guess you can play with split screen or single screen. For now, we'll just go with normal. I assume we play against AI opponent. Race time is day. And the demo changes to show you the differences between day and night. So yeah, day, you just see better what you're doing, although it appears the background is still pretty dark, but night, you're pretty much limited to just what your immediate headlights show. We'll just go ahead and stick with these settings for now, I think. Change track. Set to short and easy. Well, since we're playing on the easiest... too damn easy for that one. Since we're playing on the easiest difficulty, I feel like maybe we could take something a little more challenging. So we have quite a few to pick from. Let's try In the Dust. I think we just go to return. We can change the car. I'm not sure... yeah, I'm not sure if this has any bearing on the car's statistics or if this is just purely cosmetic. I suspect it's purely cosmetic since these all look like more or less the same model of car, but let's just go ahead and pick colors that are easy to differentiate at a moment's glance so we can tell which is the human and which is the computer opponent. That looks pretty good. So we'll be the orange car with the kind of bit of a blue on the front, and the computer will be the blue back and yellow front car for the paint jobs. And I think we just hit start. Yep, here we are. Race is about to begin. And we're off. Whoa! Yeah, I can definitely tell that the Dusty moniker for this track is well deserved, because that's a lot of dust clouds, and I have veered off the road. So it appears there's not that much in the way of barriers to keep you on the road, but if you stray off the road, you slow down in a big way. So it's best to try to stay on the road as best you can. Whoa, which is a little easier said than done. Whoa. All right, yeah. So this game actually kind of has a physics engine, so to speak, which is, I guess, in keeping with the spirit of rally sports games like this. Since rally racing, you're not playing on a nice and level track like some of the other formats of racing. It tends to be more rough and tumble as you traverse uneven ground and the like. Is this ice? I get the impression this might be ice, because I am skidding all over the place. Okay, yep. I definitely lost a lot of traction there. Okay. Let's make our way around. Ouch, we're 10 seconds behind. We got a lot of catching up to do if we want to win this race, which I don't know if I'm going to do. But get back on the road. I think I'm gonna have to start taking these turns a little more slowly, so I don't keep going off the road. At least let off the gas, if not apply the brakes, depending on how fast I'm going. Oof, no. Get back on. There you go. Alright. That's a nice little touch. They got spectators on the sidelines cheering us on, so... Alright, yep, we're back on the ice, so I gotta be extra careful. See, as I careen all over the place. Okay, so you can hit said fans there on the side of the road. Wow, okay. Took a bit of a page out of Carmageddon's book. That, there's our opponent. And he just keeps getting farther and farther ahead of us, unfortunately. So we each have 3 more laps to go, by the looks of things. I feel like I'm improving slightly with every lap, but it's probably not going to be enough to catch my opponent. So I imagine if you play this on an easier track, maybe with fewer hazards to traverse as far as road surfaces and such, you would probably have a better chance for your first attempt. Man, he's already completed his 3rd lap. I feel like I'm only about 2/3 of the way through mine. Alright. I always take that turn really, really wide. Let's vent my frustrations a bit. I mean, credit where credit is due. These are some pretty hardcore fans that are willing to risk life and limb like this, watching their fellow racing fans get pasted by the racers. You'd think they would not be inclined to stick around after witnessing something like that, but okay, there we go. I'll probably call it after this race is over and I probably lose, because I'm pretty sure we get the idea by now. Oi. Well, consider yourself lucky there, fan, because I almost hit you. Alright. Let's take this nice and easy. Whoa! Get back on the road. Alright, yep. Well, we took those okay. Ouch. I say as I run into the starting point. Okay, just one more lap. I wonder if the game ends automatically if the computer finishes before you, or if you have to finish the race yourself. Guess I'm about to find out. As far as I know, there's no way to like change gears or anything. I think it's all automatic because the controls just had very simple accelerate and brake and turn, and that was it. Man, he just made a lap record there. Meanwhile, I'm struggling, haven't even hit the ice yet. So yeah, despite being set on the easiest difficulty, this game has the potential, at least, depending what track you pick, to be surprisingly challenging. Alright. Almost there. Just gotta cross the finish line. So yeah, the game, you do have to finish it yourself. Oh man, I don't want to be lapped. Come on. Alright, there we go. B-Man's LN is not winner. Yep. I certainly am not. So, I'm still controlling the car, by the way. Wonder, do I just hit... Okay, yeah, you've just hit spacebar. So that's Rally Sport, and yeah, it's an okay little rally racing title. I suppose you have to factor in certain considerations, like it was made by a very small dev team using the shareware model, so obviously this isn't going to compete with the real movers and shakers within the DOS racing game scene. But I suppose if you take those considerations into account and go in with like lowered expectations, then you might get some enjoyment out of this. The fact that it has two-player support too means that there is potential for some multiplayer racing fun, and I imagine it's probably more dynamic than going up against the AI opponent like I did here. So I would say that if this looked intriguing to you, then you might want to consider giving it a try, though I'm not sure how much mileage, pun intended, that you're going to get out of it. But otherwise, it's very much a kind of mediocre experience, so you aren't missing out on too much if you don't. And if you fancy a spin around the DOS gaming circuit, then we've got you covered here. My esteemed colleagues and I cover all manner of DOS racing games, and all manner of DOS games in general, for that matter. And if you like what you see here, consider subscribing. But that's it for today. Time to roll on out of here. And until next time, take care, everyone.